Even though we are a technology company, we're an information technology business, we're an IT services company, we're really in the people business.
While we're in IT, so we're in the IT services industry, we're really a people company by choice.
Atrion culture is people. It is the family. It is this group that are coming together to do great things.
The following special program is brought to you by Atrion IT Technology, Rhode Island College, Cardi's Furniture, and the Arpin Group. I'm Peter Arpin for ReNewable Now, and for many of us who were born and grew up in Rhode Island, we lose sight, I know I do, of the amazing history surrounding us. Take, for example, the Naval War College in Newport, the subject of today's show. Do you know how old they are? When the War College was established in Newport, Rhode Island. Just as intriguing, can you remember what years it pulled back, got much smaller, almost left Newport completely? And what about today? How big is it? How many commands do their majestic grounds hold? Stay with us as we talk to Professor Doug Duchamp, an assistant research professor who tells us the story of this facility, their amazing transformation into green, and how this one base helps our Navy not only defend our great country, but do so while reducing energy use, waste, and they lead our country into a more sustainable and promising future. Welcome back to ReNewable Now. We are here at the beautiful International Tennis Hall of Fame and Museum in Newport, and I am with Professor Doug Duchamp, Assistant Research Professor in Newport over at the Naval War College. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
In an earlier segment, we actually talked to the mayor about the naval presence, how it went back to initially right after the Civil War. Tell us about your facility now. I know it houses a lot over there, a lot bigger. I did a bunch of research, did a lot of reading, a lot bigger, a lot more complex than I thought. Kind of talk about what's there, what you do, and kind of your impact and your relationship with the city of Newport.
Right. Well, as a professor at the Naval War College, I'm here to talk about the Naval Station, the Navy in general, and the Naval War College. I'm not representing the government or the Navy or the Naval War College. It's just from an academic perspective. And
you're a teacher, but you're not going to teach the whole time.
So I'll do my best to explain the initiatives at the Naval Station.
Yep.
The Naval War College has been around since 1884.
1884.
And it's had a long relationship with Newport. The Navy presence in Newport has fluctuated over the years. This was Atlantic Fleet headquarters all the way up until the 1970s. Most recently, since mid-2000s, there's been a lot of more training commands, education and training schools
now,
moving to Newport.
Did you tell me you have 51 commands?
53 tenant commands, I believe. So the Naval War College is one out of 53 commands on the Naval Station. So over 17,000 students come through Newport annually to train and educate.
Wow. Now, so there's a lot more going on. There's a, is it an underwater warfare?
Naval Underwater Warfare Command.
Okay, and so that's over there. So 53 commands, 17,000 students, and you have an international focus as well. Tell us about that.
That's right. The Naval War College has 4 missions. One is to educate leaders in the military and government agencies. Another one is to support fleet planning and research. Another one is the international focus, where international students come here to the college. A lot of the leaders of the navies around the world are graduates of the Naval War College and consider Newport their home for the Navy. And then the 4th mission of the War College is to help inform the future Navy. And that's the research arm, and that's the part of the college that I work for.
So the so the teaching that you do, both domestically and internationally there at the War College, obviously has a huge impact, right? Has a huge impact on strategy and naval presence and working together with other military forces and things like that. What exactly do you teach, and how does that tie in? Because I've read a lot about not just the Navy, but the military really starting to invest in renewables and in thinking about their footprint and in looking at sustainability. But what exactly do you teach, and how does that fit in with some of the overall strategies of the Navy?
Well, it's good because this is something new for the Navy. I am a research professor there, but I also co-instruct the energy security elective. I've done that for the past two years. And basically we're teaching the relationship of energy with national security, international security, and talking about how the Navy can leverage renewables and alternative energies, some of the things that are talked about.
Now, on a local level, you've done some very good things over there. Can we talk about, because I thought I read too where there was an award for something they did over at the War College, but what are some of the sustainability initiatives that are going on?
I can't go into detail of the specifics, but I can talk about what I know about the Naval Station. They received the Secretary of the Navy Platinum Award, which is the second highest level award the Secretary of the Navy has put out for installations that have implemented a lot of the energy program that the Navy is trying to put through. Some of the things that they've done is they've reduced their energy intensity since 2003 by 36%. They've reduced, since 2007, they've reduced water consumption by 49%. So when you're talking the last year, the electric bill for the Naval Station was something like $9 million, 36% decrease in energy intensity. You're talking millions of dollars as an impact and cost savings for the taxpayers.
Right, and that's exactly what I was going to say. Reduce that operating cost and hopefully be able to return some of that, or to be able to reinvest it in some of the things that, and we understand that you have a job to do, and we understand that, you know, preserving resources has to be balanced with the job and the mandate that you have. It appears that then certainly they've had a very good return on investment on the things that they've done. And again, so how do some of the things going on locally here in Newport, Rhode Island, tie in with the overall naval initiatives and strategies and things that they're doing on a global basis?
Well, what they're doing here at the Naval Station in Newport, really a reflection of what the Secretary of the Navy is trying to implement from the service-wide, Department of the Navy-wide. He believes that if the Navy creates a market and embraces and changes the culture and implements a lot of these initiatives, society will follow. Navy has always been a leader in changes in energy, from wind, from sail to steam, from steam to petroleum to nuclear. The Navy has always led the way on energy advances.
That's a
what
great
the
point.
Secretary of the Navy would say.
Now potentially looking at alternatives and clean energy and biofuels and all of the things that are available today from a technology point of view. We'll be right back.
At the International Tennis Hall of Fame, it's all about the game, the history, and the legends. You can be part of it all. Tour the museum to learn the history of tennis and the fascinating stories of its legendary stars. Play tennis on the historic grass courts. Witness tennis history at the annual induction ceremony.
Thank you so much.
Become a member or plan a visit to the International Tennis Hall of Fame. Learn more on tennisfame.com.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful. than a 600-pound gorilla, able to pack any home in a single move. Look, pulling up to our house. It's a delivery. It's a truck. No, son, that's the Arpin moving guy. An advanced mover from the Arpin Group, sent to defeat rogue movers and moving giants that provide bad home moves. He delivers customer satisfaction, quality work, and award-winning service. For a super move, call Arpin at 800-343-3500 or visit arpin.com. The moving guy, saving the world from bad moves, one customer at a time.
Cardi's is focused to give you a better night's sleep.
By working with those who have the same goal.
Like our nation's most recognized sleep specialist, Dr. Bruce.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Bruce. I'm here at Cardi's personally training Nairobi's team to assess your sleep habits and needs, focusing on my 4 tenets of better sleep: thermoneutrality, balance of pressure, complete relaxation, and tranquil sleep, all of which will help you get a better night's rest.
Enjoy an introductory free Dr. Bruce box spring, Cardi's Furniture.
Even though we are a technology company, we're an information technology business, we're an IT services company, we're really in the people business.
While we're in the IT services industry, we're really a people company by choice.
Atrion culture is people. It is the family. It is this group that are coming together to do great things.
Welcome back. Let's follow up on where we left off. Kind of describe for me, Professor, the bigger picture of why the Navy is pushing kind of some of this reform, is pushing these changes, and how does it impact specifically security and the economy?
That's good. That's basically the learning objective for the elective that we teach, is how is Navy a national security an issue? And we basically drill it down to about 5 categories of problems. Energy is a national security issue because it's an economic issue, it's an environmental issue, it causes resource competition among nations, it can create irregular challenges like insurgency, terrorism, piracy, things like that. And last, it has a huge impact on the Department of Defense. The more money that's spent on energy for fuel, the less money the Department of Defense has to pay for weapon systems and its people. And
just the logistics of you getting fuel, right, to certain places, being able to support your troops and efforts, has got to be a huge issue.
That's right, and that's one of the things that's studied at the War College as part of the core curriculum. The reliance that militaries have when deploying forces forward, the reliance on energy supply lines. If those energy supply lines are vulnerable or you're highly dependent upon them, that's a way for your adversary to attack you. So it's very important, and that's what a lot of the research we do through wargaming and other means, to go ahead and figure out what are the ways to become less reliable or to protect those energy supply lines.
In fact, didn't you mention to me that you participated in a kind of a, I don't know if it's a video game or a war game that was somewhat related to that, or?
Yes, well, we do a lot of different war games, and there's many of them classified and unclassified realms that are related to that very, very thought. The one I was referring to was about the ocean management and the Navy's role in ocean management. And it was a war game that we had done 2 years ago called the Global Shipping Game. And the Chief of Naval Operations was concerned about, with the opening of the Arctic and the expansion of the Panama Canal, trade routes in a global sense would be changing, and what would be the Navy's role to make sure those trade routes would be secure, and the implications.
Which is terrific, because I want to talk about that a little bit in the last segment. Let me ask you this: what are some of the challenges then? You're trying to get to a new style. You're trying to strategize some of these changes as you look at your global presence. What are some of the real challenges then that you face, and how do you collaborate with some of these international partners that you mentioned, some of these NATO countries?
Okay, good. First of all, the challenges kind of depends on your perspective. We have operational commanders in the Navy, and we have installation commanders, like at the Naval Station. Operational commanders, their real challenge is how do they implement some of these alternative energy initiatives while maintaining operational effectiveness, because they don't want to sacrifice that.
And by the way, has this been going on a long time? How long have you been doing these kind of things?
I can't quite remember when the Department of the Navy's energy policy came, but it's been the last few years is really when the program has really gotten a lot of momentum. And installation commanders have a different challenge to overcome other than operational effectiveness. Installation commanders, it's all about cost. So they have to show that return on investment.
Absolutely.
So it's, if money was unlimited, they could implement tons of alternative energy solutions.
So there's a lot of efficiency, there's a lot of investment, there's a lot of return on investment, as you said, being good caretakers, right, for the taxpayer dollars. Can we get back to a question? How do you see a lot of this impacting the economy?
Well, the Secretary of the Navy would say when the Navy goes ahead and leads the way, society follows. One way is to create a market. If the Navy has a big budget, if they are buying alternative fuels, then there's a market created and it'll create the efficiencies.
That's a very good point, right? The military in general, the Navy, you're big buyers, right? So some of your purchasing. How does this fit in, if you can tell me, kind of with the overall military strategy? Because I've read a lot, and we actually on the ARPAN side relocate Navy, Army, Coast Guard personnel. And it seems as though part of the strategy has been to bring them together, to share resources, to share ideas, to be more efficient where they didn't have as many bases and competing interests. Is some of the things you're doing on the naval side across the board, and does it fit in with the overall military strategy for, particularly for trying to use clean energy, new energy techniques?
I guess so. I mean, a lot of the strategy, the initiatives, the information sharing, I mean, it's just an expansion of knowledge management going on with the Navy. And if they can leverage that without consuming more, energy, getting people physically together and collaborate in the knowledge sense.
Is it just naval personnel that come through?
No, it's just not naval. It's officers from all the other services and some government agencies, Department of State, Homeland Security, things like that.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Maureen Carey, publisher of Rhode Island Natural Awakenings magazine. I'm excited about our new partnership with ReNewable Now. Natural Awakenings is a free monthly publication committed to providing services and information to our community to improve your quality of life physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You'll find cutting-edge information on natural health, nutrition, fitness, personal growth, green living, and the products and services that support a healthy lifestyle. You can find our magazine at health food stores, coffee shops, yoga studios, libraries, and wherever free publications are generally seen. We are locally owned, locally produced, and supporting the Rhode Island economy naturally. You can find us online at rinaturalawakenings.com.
We are back at the International Tennis Hall of Fame. I'm here with Professor Doug Duchamps, Assistant Research Professor at the Naval War College. What about your evolution into kind of a green fleet? I've read a little bit about, what does that mean?
Well, the Green Fleet is one of the Department of the Navy's energy program goals, was to be able to sail the Great Green Fleet. And it conducted an operation this past year where all the ships and aircraft operated off of alternative energy source other than petroleum. And the goal is by 2016 to have those ships in that fleet operational, a strike group operational. Now, the Great Green Fleet, it's highly symbolic initiative, I think.
Why?
Well, one of the things that the Navy sees as a leader is you've got to go ahead and change the culture, okay? And Americans, by nature, historically, we're just not energy conservers. We love to consume energy. And the Navy, people in the Navy are no different. And one way to change that culture is to change the value system, doing things reward system or symbolically. A Great Green Fleet is a perfect example of that. If they can go ahead and demonstrate that to show that this is important and valuable, then that could go a long way. And a lot of the other navies around the world are seeing us do that.
That would be, as you said, a kind of a terrific example of what's feasible, particularly, again, looking at technology and those changes. And one of the things that I did read is that the base here in Newport is looking seriously and doing a feasibility study on a major wind turbine, and that certainly fits in with some of the changes that we've seen here in Rhode Island, both with solar and wind, but particularly wind even on offshore. And so that would be a good fit, and again would send a message that in addition to conservation and efficiency, which you've done a good job, that you can start to generate your own clean energy. One of the things we're doing here in Newport is we're talking about ocean management. The ocean is a resource. It's very important to a place like Newport. It sustains part of their tourism with beaches. You, the naval side, you share the oceans with a lot of industries. International shipping, fishing, energy. What do you think is the Navy's role now in trying to help preserve the oceans, use it better, limit their kind of their footprint, those types of things?
Well, the Navy in ocean management has, for all intents and purposes, a small role, but really a leader, because there are so many diverse perspectives and factions that use the ocean. But the Navy is kind of a voice that can cut across a lot of the different organizations, industry and law and fishing and things like that. So it's important for the Navy to go ahead and participate in a lot of the conferences and a lot of the decision-making concerning ocean management. I can't go into the specifics of what they're doing, but I know that that's what the Navy hopes to be, is a leader in ocean management.
So one of the authorities, one of the those that are contributing, and I would think through your purchasing and some of the changes you're trying to make, again, you're inspiring maybe some technology, some things, adaptations that would make sense. Do you talk at the college more now than you did about sustainability, about green? Does it come up a lot? Is it part of the conversation with the leaders there? I mean, has that evolved a lot?
I think it has. I think part of the changing the culture. You really have to understand the problem before you can start coming up with some of the solutions, and some of the green and alternative energy sources are solutions. So you have to really understand the problem from the different perspectives, because energy security from the perspective of an energy producer nation or an energy consumer nation could be two different things. So you have to understand the multi-perspectives that are out there before you can actually overcome some of the barriers in implementing the solutions. And like I said, changing the culture, and I think that's a big role that the Naval War College has, bringing a lot of, whether it's international students or naval officers who are going to be leaders of the Navy someday, educating them on what the problems are.
But do you find when you bring some of the international leaders, as an example, through, are they asking those questions? Are they more focused on it? What's the mix when you bring some of the, I don't know, some of the folks from North Europe as an example, right? Where it's certainly a huge part of their personal culture. What impact does it have on your War College?
It is, the way the War College is set up is it's a sharing of ideas, so you put a lot of different perspectives together, and I think having international students that come from societies and cultures that conserve energy more, it has been a benefit to the
it furthers
education
the discussions. What would be your, let's look in the future a little bit. What would be your vision of the Navy, maybe changes over the next 10 years?
Well, the two lines of approach the Navy has gone in with the Navy program, the two approaches I see is energy security and energy independence. Energy security is basically the concept of, hey, you know, we're really vulnerable and dependent upon these energy supply lines when we conduct operations, so we have to secure them by any means possible. The energy independence approach is, let's not be vulnerable and dependent upon those. So I see more and more of these initiatives coming out where we're trying to be self-contained, where we conserve more energy and produce our own energy rather than being dependent upon the supply of energy.
I think it's a good fit with what we talked about. We had a national election recently here in the United States. Both candidates talked about energy independence, different way of getting there, but certainly it's a big part of the conversation now. And as you said, it relates to security. It relates to the economy, not sending dollars overseas, bringing those dollars back, bringing those jobs back. You know, seeing domestically produced energy as an example for electric vehicles. All of those changes certainly could, as you said, hearken not only to maybe a change on the economic side, but certainly on the security side, and make your job a little bit different, right? Because you're fighting in places and fighting wars and doing things that have been all about energy.
That's why it's so complex. That's why I don't like the term energy independence. I like the term energy resilience, because even if we're not dependent upon importing petroleum, we're still dependent upon energy in society. Industry and living standards depend on energy. Energy resilience is really what we're looking for.
We'll be following the story. Thanks so much for being with us. I'll be right back with some closing thoughts.
Tennis Hall of Fame, it's all about the game, the history, and the legends. You can be part of it all. Tour the museum to learn the history of tennis and the fascinating stories of its legendary stars. Play tennis on the historic grass courts. Witness tennis history at the annual induction ceremony.
Thank you so much.
Become a member or plan a visit to the International Tennis Hall of Fame. Learn more on tennisfame.com.
Wow, 51 commands sitting here on this one base. Not only that, but how about their ability to teach military leaders from around the world how to defend and protect? What an influence the Naval War College plays in bringing true global leaders to the shores of Rhode Island and then sending them back out with an ability to fight anywhere in the world, regardless of the terrain, the enemy, and the limited resources available to them. It is good to hear how the Navy cares very much about our natural resources, the world around us, and is piloting changes in fueling their ships, building their facilities, and training their brave soldiers. It is inspiring to see the investments they've made in clean tech and the terrific return on investment they've enjoyed, saving us, taxpayers, millions of dollars without sacrificing the quality of their service. Good work. Next week, we get to profile our host facility for our 5 Newport shows. The International Tennis Hall of Fame and Museum, combined with Salve Regina University, you will see exceptional insight, exceptional leadership into preservation and economic growth. That is all here next week on ReNewable Now, the show and the tour that bring you the business side.